Welcome back. In episode 1, we built awareness. We helped people understand why change is happening. But understanding is not enough. Today, we tackle the harder question. How do you make people actually want the change? How do you move them from "I understand" to "I'm in"? This is the desire stage. Here's the truth that trips up almost every change leader. "I understand" is not the same as "I'm in." One lives in the head, the other lives in the heart. And the gap between them is where most change programs quietly die. You can communicate perfectly, train thoroughly, build beautiful systems, and still fail if people have not chosen to engage. Desire is different from awareness. You cannot inform people into wanting change. You have to earn it. One person at a time. That's what this episode is about. In the next 15 minutes, 4 things. First, what desire really is, and why buy-in is emotional, not logical. Second, the 5 drivers that actually move people from understanding to commitment. Third, 7 practical techniques that real change leaders use every day, not theory, but tools. And fourth, how to work with resistance, because resistance is not your enemy. Handled well, it's your best source of signal. Let's go. Quick reminder of where we are. ADKAR. Awareness, desire, knowledge, ability, reinforcement. We built awareness last episode. Today, we're on desire. And here's why the sequence matters. If you skip straight to knowledge, to training, before people actually want to change, you get compliant attendance and zero adoption. Today's focus is turning understanding into commitment. Get this right, and everything downstream becomes easier. So what is desire? Prosci defines it as the personal choice to support and engage in the change. Let's unpack that. 3 things are true about desire. First, it's a choice, not an instruction. You can require attendance. You cannot require commitment. Second, it's personal, built one individual at a time. Teams don't decide, people do. And third, it's emotional. Logic gets people nodding. Emotion gets them moving. Both matter, but in that order. Part 1. The 5 drivers of desire. 5 forces shape whether someone chooses to get on board or quietly opts out. Prosci research identifies 5 drivers of desire. 1. The nature of the change itself. Is it seen as positive or as a threat? 2. The organizational context. What's the track record of past changes here? If every previous initiative failed, trust is already low. 3. Each person's individual situation, workload, career stage, life circumstances outside work. 4. Intrinsic motivators, personal growth, meaning, autonomy. And 5. Group dynamics, what peers, managers, and the surrounding culture signal. Here's the critical insight. You don't fully control most of these, but you can understand them, you can listen for them, and you can speak to them, which honestly is most of the job. Here's a distinction every change leader needs to hold on to. Desire and compliance look identical from the outside. Someone attends the training, uses the new system, hits the deadline. Fine. But they behave completely differently over time. Compliance sounds like, "I have to." It's driven by fear of consequences. It produces minimum effort. And the moment pressure eases, it evaporates. Desire sounds like, "I want to." It's driven by personal meaning. People go beyond the minimum. They give discretionary effort, and it sustains through setbacks and delays. Compliance is surface. Desire is depth. If you build one and not the other, you have a house of cards. Part 2. 7 practices for change leaders. What the best change leaders actually do day to day to build desire. Practice number 1, co-create, don't dictate. There's an old saying that applies perfectly here. People support what they help create. The quickest way to kill desire is to arrive with every answer already decided, hand it to people, and ask them to get excited. They won't. Here's what to do instead. Involve people before decisions are final. Give them real input, not just feedback on something that's already done. Run design sessions with the end users, the people who will actually live with the change, and ask a simple, powerful question. What would make this work for you? Then actually change things based on what they say. The act of being heard and seeing your input matter is one of the strongest desire builders there is. Practice number 2, make early wins visible. Desire compounds. One small visible success makes the next believer easier to find. Your target, a visible win within 30 days of launch. Here's how. Pick a quick win pilot team, a small group willing to try, led by a supportive manager. Measure something meaningful and measure it fast. Hours saved per week, errors reduced, customer response time improved, even morale if that's what shifted. Then tell the story publicly. Name the team, name the numbers. Make it real, make it specific. And here's the secret. Let the pilot team recruit the next wave. Peer stories beat leader announcements every single time. Practice 3. Model it visibly. Desire dies when leaders ask for change they themselves don't practice. People watch feet, not lips. If you want your teams to use Copilot, use it in meetings yourself. If you want a feedback culture, ask for feedback yourself, publicly, and act on it. Specifically for sponsors, use the new tool or process themselves on camera. Talk about the change in every all hands. Show up to Q&A sessions without a script. Share your own doubts and what changed your mind, because vulnerability builds trust faster than confidence does. And recognize people who try, not just the ones who succeed. That single behavior makes trying feel safe. Practice 4. Tell stories, not slides. Stanford research shows stories are up to 22 times more memorable than a statistic alone. Stories move the heart. Data supports the head. You need both, but lead with the story. A story that builds desire has 4 beats. Beat 1, a real person. Name them, describe their role, make them human. Beat 2, a real struggle. The actual problem they had before the change. Beat 3, a real turning point. What shifted for them, what they tried. And beat 4, a real result, with a number if you have one, a feeling if you don't. 4 beats, 90 seconds. More desire built than a 30-slide deck. Practice 5. Build a champions network. Peer belief beats leader broadcast every time. Champions are trusted peers, not managers, who model, coach, and advocate for the change inside their own teams. 3 parts to this. Who to pick. Someone trusted by peers, not just someone high-performing. Someone curious and open to trying things. And someone willing to speak up when stuck, because you need their signal, not just their smile. What they do, model new behaviors openly. Coach colleagues in the moment when someone gets stuck, and surface issues back to you, so you hear what leaders usually don't. How to support them, give them early access and extra training. Meet with them regularly. Hear what they hear, and recognize them publicly. Champions are volunteers. Treat them like the gift they are. Practice 6. Translate benefits, person by person. Organization-level benefits rarely move individuals. Digital transformation will drive competitive advantage means nothing to the person processing invoices on Tuesday morning. You have to translate. For executives, strategic agility, market position. Speak to them with something like, "We stay ahead while competitors lag." For middle managers, whose life is hitting team targets, try, "Your weekly reports will build themselves." For frontline staff, less drudgery, more craft. No more rekeying data into 3 systems. For specialists, deeper work, fewer interruptions. AI handles the routine, so you focus on expert work. Same change. 4 completely different messages. Every one of them true. Practice 7, and honestly, the one leaders skip most. Listen more than you broadcast. Here's a rule that will change how you run change conversations. If you're talking more than 30% of the time, you're not building desire. You're building resentment. 4 concrete tools. Listening tours. A sponsor visits 5 teams and only asks questions. No pitching. Pulse surveys. 3 questions. Monthly. with the results shared back openly. Skip level one-on-ones. Managers meet their managers' team members. Real signal, fast. And an anonymous channel, a Teams form or an inbox for the concerns people can't yet say out loud. Set one of these up before your next launch. Any of them. It will tell you more than every report combined. Part 3. Working with resistance. Resistance is not the enemy of change. It's a source of signal, if you know how to read it. Here's the reframe that transformed how I think about resistance. The old view: resistance is a problem to be overcome. You push harder. You isolate the resistors. You escalate to their manager. You hope they leave. I've watched this playbook fail more times than I can count. The new view: resistance is data about what your plan missed. It's feedback, not failure. You get curious. You listen for the real concern underneath. You adjust where you can. And, this is the counterintuitive part, you thank them publicly for raising it. Because the moment people see resistance met with curiosity instead of punishment, the quiet resistors start speaking up too. That's when your change actually gets better. The surface complaint is rarely the real issue. Listen for what's underneath. When someone says, "This won't work," they usually mean, "I don't trust the plan yet. Show me how." When someone says, "We tried this before," they mean, "I've been burned by past changes. Prove this one is different." When someone says, "I don't have time," they mean, "I'm overloaded. Help me see what I can drop." And when someone says, "My team won't accept it," they usually mean, "I'm scared of losing credibility with them." Hear the fear underneath the complaint. Then you can address the real thing, not the surface thing. Here's a 4-step structure for a resistance conversation. Memorize this one. You'll use it constantly. Step 1. Acknowledge. Start with their reality, not yours. "I can see this is frustrating." That sentence alone diffuses half the heat. Step 2. Ask. Get specific. What's the part that worries you most? Let them narrow it from an emotion to a concrete thing. Step 3. Adjust. Where you can flex the plan, flex it. Where you can't, say so, honestly. Fake flexibility is worse than honest constraint. And step 4, agree. Land on one small thing you'll both try and set a review point in 2 weeks. You're not fixing everything. You're building trust, one honest conversation at a time. Before we close, 5 mistakes that kill desire. Avoid everyone. 1. Mandating without meaning. Because leadership said so has never built lasting commitment anywhere. 2. Overselling benefits. Exaggeration breeds mistrust. Be honest about the trade-offs too. 3. Ignoring quiet resistance. The loud critic is a gift. The silent one is your real risk. They've already opted out, you just haven't noticed. 4. Punishing early stumbles. If trying costs more than staying still, people stop trying. Make it safe to fumble. And 5. Declaring victory too early. Desire is fragile. It needs steady tending, not a single launch event. Protect it. Here's your toolkit, the desire checklist. Before you move people on to knowledge and training, run through this. Have people been consulted, not just informed? Is at least one visible early win scheduled in the next 30 days? Is my sponsor modeling the change in public, not just endorsing it? Do I have real stories ready, not just statistics? Is there a champions network identified and supported? Are benefits translated per audience, not generic? Do I have a listening mechanism, not just a broadcast plan? And do I treat resistance as feedback with a named response? If any of these are no, don't move forward yet. Build the missing piece first. 3 things to take away. First, desire is a choice, not a command. You can require attendance. You cannot require commitment. Everything today was about earning it. Second, people support what they help create. Co-creation, champions, stories, and listening do more than any announcement ever will. Build with people, not at them. And third, resistance is a gift. It tells you exactly what your plan missed. Meet it with curiosity, not defense, and you will build a stronger change than you planned. That's episode 2. Now go build commitment, not compliance. In the next one, we tackle knowledge, the K in ADKAR, and how to deliver training that actually sticks, not the kind everyone sleeps through. If this episode helped, subscribe, share it with someone leading change, and I'll see you in the next one.